This is how a windmill pumps water. Up above us, directly above us, is the windmill. This is an old-fashioned water pump, and it's pumping. You see that white pipe there? This water's pumping into the white pipe. The electric pump right there is not currently hooked up. We do intend to hook it up as a backup, but currently we water our animals 100% on wind energy. Up there is the windmill. Here's the well house. Up there is the windmill. Up there on the hilltop, there's a little tiny turquoise dot that you can see below a tree. That dot. That's the tank. That little tank holds the water, and since it's on top of the hill, it stores energy. There's a pipe buried out of this. Once again, there's the well house. We turn around, and following this lane that you can see mowed, there's a pipe that more or less follows that lane, not directly, underground, that my late wife and I buried in 2004. It goes up there, and then it turns left, and it goes that away, and once again it's barely visible. Right there is that turquoise dot, and that's where that pipe ends. This tank is kept full. It obviously needs to be cleaned. Over there in the barn, right there, is another tank. That's Buttercup's tank. That one is kept full. The pressure tank that I showed you is hiding up there in the trees. There's the tank that I've been showing you. Down there's the windmill. This is a 300-gallon plastic water tank. It's sitting on this trailer and on that other tank to give it additional height, because what makes the system work is gravity, and this has to be above everything else that is required. The pipe that I told you about ends here. This is the final hydrant on the buried pipe. The hose comes from the outlet of this tank. It comes from there. When the pump is running, as I showed you below, water is pressed uphill against gravity, comes out of this hydrant into this hose, goes into the tank. You can see from the dripping, here that this tank is already full, and that I should have shut off the windmill while I was down there to stop this waste of well water. This project is not complete. That tank there is a 400-gallon stainless steel tank. This autumn we'll build a structure, a building, a tower around this tower, this hydrant. We'll put this steel tank on top of it. That means it will be higher than this one by 3 or 4 feet. The height is where we get the pressure that makes the water run out of our hydrants. One of the principles of permaculture is catch and store energy, and that's exactly what we're doing here. As you can see, once again, we're doing it wastefully, and I have to figure out a way to secure that. The short-term solution is we just walk down there to the windmill and shut it off, which I will do when I'm finished taking this video. This thing here will stand higher in the air than the top of my head. It will stand about this high off the ground. Above that, that'll be the bottom of that 400-gallon stainless tank, and then we'll build a freeze-proof structure around it. This enables us to water all our stock with no fossil or purchased energy. Now, there's fossil and purchased energy in that windmill, but as you saw when we were down close to it, it's made out of relatively small quantities of steel, which means that it didn't take a huge amount of fossil energy to make it. If you compare that, for instance, to the big fat steel post on a giant electric wind turbine that generates electricity, this is a more direct harvest of energy, and it requires less advanced energy input. So that's just one of the ways we do things here. We don't get a huge amount of pressure because I don't have much height, and head or height is where you get your water pressure. But what we do have is we have running water, and this runs whether the wind is blowing or not, because that big tank up there is the functional equivalent of a battery. It stores energy. So with this system, we catch and store energy, which we then use to serve the needs of the animals on our farm. This is not potable water, so it doesn't serve the human needs. That's because industrialized humans have poisoned all the water. But it's not so poisoned the animals can't drink it.